Yo. Good evening. Where's Robbo gone? He's disappeared. All right, before he gets back, welcome to the Fixture List, Friday evening. And as you can see, we've got some distinguished guests with us today. We've got DJ Edu, who's happy with me because we've managed to get rid of Harry Maguire. He says not yet, but I think he's gone. And we got the king of soca himself, staunch QPR supporter, raised 2,500 for the cricket. I don't know if it was the West Indies cricket team, but some cricket team down in the Caribbean. The one and only king of soca, Martin J, is in the building this evening. And here's Robbo.
I'm here. Medea. Apologies, people, for the 30 seconds. I nearly tripped up on a lead in the studio, but I'm here. Shout to everyone in the house, Friday night fixture list. First thing I'm going to ask you guys, please, the like button underneath it looks like this. It's not brown, it's white.
Yep.
Go easy, Daddy Ernie. Don't say it. It's not brown, it's white. Just hit that like button. We'd love for you guys to help us get the show trending tonight. So hit the like button if you're watching right now on YouTube, if you're watching on Facebook. And I must say, we are going to end our time with Facebook and concentrate solely on YouTube. So if you guys are watching the show, we're going to post a link in our Facebook, so you can, in the Facebook page, so you can actually link to our YouTube page, and that will help us immensely. So if you're watching right now, do hit the like button. As they say, smash that like button, kids.
You know that. You know, Robbo, I just tried to put the link on Facebook, and they come up and said there's a problem and they're working on it. They're going to be fixing it very soon. I don't know what.
Oh, that's why I don't like Facebook.
They always do that.
But if you're on Facebook right now, equally hit the like button. They're very good and kind to host us here on the Friday night fixture list. Where's Crystal Davis? I think Crystal's waiting for that. Say hi to Crystal. Hi. She's waiting for one of those moments there. Yeah, can't see Crystal. Your guest, Eddie Nestor, should be joining us. Yes. And also Rodney Hines later on, hopefully.
The cool ruler.
The cool ruler.
As well, you know what I mean? But yeah, it's another fixture list Friday night. You know, we roll already. It's great to have Martin in the building, and also DJ Edu, who might be shining some light on the comings and goings OT over the next 6 months.
I was hoping that you were going to shine the light on Old Trafford, because you've had a whole week. You draw the game on Wednesday, so I thought you were going to come with the juice today, the Ragnick juice.
No Ragnick juice, mate. Eddie, the
only thing I'm going to ask you, don't mention the word Maguire today. Can you just do a show without Harry Maguire?
We have already. We have already. But anyway, yeah. I called Eddie. And he's watching the game. I said, Eddie, why are you wasting your time? He said he's watching the most biggest pile of shit he's seen all season. I said, what? Why are you putting yourself through that? He said, are you watching it? I said, no way.
So you couldn't tell us exactly what happened on the pitch then?
Well, from what I heard, we were slaughtered for the best part of the game, and we drew 1-0. Can you concur with that, DJ Edu?
Oh, lucky to get away with the points. I watched that, and I'm watching paint dry, and the paint dry was much better.
So what's wrong with you lot?
So, but we want breakdown. We want stats and facts from you, Ernie. So if you don't watch the game, I mean, how are you going to bless us with that information?
Number one, I couldn't watch it anyway because I was on air, so I wouldn't be able to watch it. I'd only be able to watch the highlights.
Did you watch the highlights of the Arsenal? Did you watch the Manchester United Arsenal game? Did you miss that one? Because we're not gonna. You ain't slipping tonight.
Yeah.
Did you watch that one?
I watched the highlights of that. It was shocking. It was as it happens, you know. We lost 3-1, but we was unlucky because we hit the bar twice. We hit the post. Their keeper made a couple of good saves. We was unlucky. We could have easily won that game. Did you see that, Edu?
Yeah, we were quite unlucky. I mean, there's some penalty shouts, some offsides as well.
Yes.
Yeah, so the referee had a man, but
Well, he was
we're the best of the worst teams.
at the end of the game. He was winking at Arteta. What's that about? You know what I mean?
Did you at any point thought, Ernie? You watched the game. Did you at any point thought that you were going to win that game?
I thought we was going to get a draw out of it. The chances that we had the post and for good portion of that game, we was on top of them.
Hey, somebody getting strangled round the back there.
No, sorry, I'm in a studio. I'm going to put myself on mute until you're ready for me. My son's moving some polystyrene boards around, and I just heard that noise as well. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, it sounded like a cat getting strangled.
Apologies.
Sorry. Oh, don't mention cats. Be careful, Robbo.
Why?
Huh?
Why?
Well,
cats?
Yeah.
What's cats are like cats? Cats ain't trending anymore, Ernie. We've moved on. Was it not the cat man that scored a goal yesterday? Am I wrong or am I right? West Ham fans, if you're a West Ham fan, all three of you is watching the show. I know there's three of you watching the show. Wasn't it the cat man that scored yesterday for West Ham? And Ernie, you're supposed to be. You said that you're into West Ham and Crystal Palace. Can you enlighten us about the game then?
Well, what's his name? Trevor. Trevor never went yesterday.
Yeah, but you're a fan.
Listen, I just adopted them. I just needed somebody to adopt to ease the pain of the season. And from what I haven't watched the highlights of that, I've got it on record. But from what I understand, 2-1, it could easily have been a bit more than that. They've got their hands, their work cut out next week in Germany. From what I understand, Frankfurt was a little bit special.
Yeah,
well,
these man beat Barcelona, man, at the new camps. These man are well drilled.
Do you think they're a special team? I mean, 8th in their table.
Not special, but the Germans, when it comes to cup competitions, they just have this little knack. You know what I mean?
What club cup competitions? They're not that great.
What are you talking about?
Club cup competitions.
Bayern Munich won it for the Champions League.
More than Spanish teams and English teams?
Not more than Spanish teams, but of late they've been firing on all cylinders.
Well, they're not. Well, if you haven't realised, Bayern Munich are not in the Champions League.
They're not in it. Yeah, no, they've got this lot here beat them, innit?
I tell you what. No, they beat Barcelona. I tell you what. Frankfurt, or is it Leipzig? One of those teams. But I tell you what. The fan base that turned up to the London Stadium this week. Now, if you support Manchester United, if you support Liverpool, Man City, if you saw this coming down the road, good Lord Almighty.
That's the Germans, isn't it, Robbo?
That's a normal Saturday in Shepherd's Bush. What are you talking about?
That is ridiculous.
Yo.
They come to win a game of football, and they did win that game. Yeah, West Ham's got their work cut out next week. But, I mean, semi-final, they could go all the way. Finalists of Europa, it will sound wonderful for West Ham, I'm sure.
We're hoping. But I think, really and truly, I think we'll see that Frankfurt will go through.
You don't know. You don't know.
It's football, isn't it? It's football. Anything is possible. But on the evidence, the little piece of evidence that I've seen, and I'll be watching it a little bit later on, I think West Ham will
haven't seen it.
Right.
A little bit of evidence you seen. You said you didn't see it.
I said I've got it to watch, and I saw a little bit of it on the news.
So you have no evidence then?
What do you mean I have no evidence?
You got no
of the
evidence.
game?
You didn't see it.
How much of the game have you got to see to form an opinion?
I ain't formed an opinion at all.
Well, I formed an opinion based on what I've seen and what I've read. They're gonna have their work cut out.
Martin, save him. Edu, save him. Throw him to the lions, man.
I don't know how to save him, but I think West Ham are one of those clubs that every now and then they have a little bit of Cockney luck, and this could be one of those times when they do have a little bit of Cockney luck. They're up against the wall, obviously, but you can just never say never in football. And as a Londoner, I've got to say I wish them the best of luck.
I agree with you. Yeah, I agree.
Because you live in London, Martin.
That's right. And I support a London team, Robbo.
Oh, okay. So it's all territorial now. Yeah? And by the way, for the audience, what team do you support?
I support QPR.
From I know Martin, he support Queen's Park Rangers.
Why are you holding out your hand?
The first football game I ever saw was at Loftus Road.
Listen.
The first ever.
Tell us. How did it happen?
What?
How did it happen?
I was born on the Harrow Road. Yeah? It's a 10-minute drive from the Harrow Road to QPR. Where were you born, Robbo?
I was born in Paddington, so I could have sport Wheelstone, Wembley FC, Chelsea.
How Chelsea managed to get near Paddington and you're overlooking QPR?
It's down the road from St Mary's.
Brentford maybe close.
So how you managed to end up supporting a team in L5?
Because it's about team, and I support team. I could have easily supported Manchester United at the time, Leeds United at the time, but it was Liverpool. And I tell you what, it was the curly perm done it. It was the curly perm.
Well, I support my local club, and at the time, QPR was a top London club, and that's how I supported QPR. I'm gonna now leave them.
No, I don't expect you to. I don't expect you to do an Ernie, but I was just interested in why people.
I've only left them for a few months. Next season I'll be back blazing all
You
glory.
can't be leaving your club for a few months.
Going on at the moment.
No, I think now more than ever. Many years ago, yeah, I think now more than ever. I'm pretty sure most of the fans that's out there that are supporting the game. It's a global game now, so fans from all over the world. Anyway. We have some comments. Drop your cue. What? Martin J. QPR, like Eddie Nesters follows Robert Elms, who follow presenter on BBC. Oh, he's a QPR fan.
Ben
we found one. We found one. Shouts going out to Twin G's right now, locking it in from Dubai. Dubai's in the building. Shouts it. Where you are, drop your area. Where you watching the show from? If you're watching us on Facebook or YouTube, so you're on the show, Martin.
Yes,
you're not going up this year.
No.
What does the Premier League look like? Looking from where you are from QPR,
horrible. Halfway through the season, when Rangers were doing quite well,
they were going up,
and we were in playoff spots, and obviously, people that talk to me, they'll be like, Mark, the Rangers are doing well. It looks like you might be going up. And even at that point, I was like, I hope not. I said, because we'll suffer. We'll go straight down. I thought that we've had a fairly decent season. I'm one of those QPR supporters that like the fact that we've won more than 50% of our games. That wasn't happening for seasons, you know what I mean? We were always in that relegation battle. Me and Vinnie Ranks were always going Loftus Road, sitting in the B block in South Africa Road and saying, singing that song with the Yards are staying up, and now you're going to believe us. And that we had that song down pat because that's what March, April and May looked like to us down in Shepherd's Bush. So I'm kind of glad that we haven't gone up because we would have come straight back down again. And this last few weeks has proven that. We're not ready for that yet.
Bit jealous of Fulham, right?
I'm not jealous of anyone. We're just not ready for that yet. If there's any club in London that I'm jealous of, is Brentford, because I think they've done an absolutely fabulous job of building their club and sustaining their club. I like what they're doing. I like the way they're doing it. So if I was to be jealous of a club, it would be Brentford, not that team down there in southwest London where you got to go outside and walk across the park to get from the changing room to the pitch.
Which team in southwest London? Which team was that?
Craven Cottage. They got oval ground. You got to come out of the changing room. You got to walk across the AstroTurf, and then you go out onto the pitch. It's madness.
So what about all that investment you guys chucked into Queen's Park Rangers many years ago? Mark Hughes as the manager. You've had a fair few managers and a lot of money. And our man Les Ferdinand's down there. What happened there?
I think that there was a lack of stability. At the time that you're talking about, Queen's Park Rangers just had a whole heap of money and no sense. You know what I mean? And they had two men there that weren't...
Sure, Ernie weren't running the club.
Why you got to be like that, man?
You know,
why you got to be like that? No, it was, at that time, Rangers had a lot of money, but no one was doing anything from their heart. It was all, they all had ulterior motives. Remember Neil Warnock, when he was managing us, he'd done a fabulous job. And instead of staying with him, the first kind of rocky patch that they had, they got rid of him, and then they went through about 8 or 9 managers. It was just silliness.
So what about this manager that you got now? Then somebody said to me, he's what?
He's gone. Mark Warburton. He's leaving at the end of the season.
Somebody said to me they're going to keep him.
They made the announcement, and they've done it in a very polite way, where he said, I've had a great 3 years at QPR, but now it's time to go. And as a manager, you really want to make sure that your team's doing better than when you joined them, which they are. But clearly, someone in the boardroom has gone, no. He hasn't got the ability to take us where we need to go. Let's get rid of him. And then so here comes all the polite messages. Like another establishment that's put out some polite messages about people having to go. It's just the way it is in the industry, you know what I mean? But Mark Warburton's gone. Big up Gussie, by the way. Enough love to you, man. Enough love.
Well,
yeah, big question for Daddy Ernie. We'll come to that later on. And Martin, why we have to be like that? Because you haven't worked with Ernie on screen. You worked with him at radio station in a separate time, in a separate room. But when you work with him on air, you'll be like how I am. Yes.
I've worked with Ernie on there. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be where I am today, if I'm honest.
Okay, then you can be his bag man.
Yeah, of course I'm going to defend him.
You'll be his bag man today.
The same way that I would, if anyone had anything bad to say about you, Robbo, I'd let them. No, I'm joking. I'd defend it properly, 100%. Yeah. Come and love you.
Sticks and stones, bro. Sticks and stones. Sticks and stones. Anyway, so this week, we have got a couple of things to talk about. The fixtures that are coming up weekend. Some very interesting games. I did a show for our man Eric Najiro on Showmax in East Africa on the 254 earlier on. He asked for my prediction, and I held my hands up and I said, I'm looking for Brentford, and I believe Brentford will beat Manchester United at Old Trafford. He said, are you drunk? And I said, no, I actually think that Brentford have got a good chance of beating Manchester United. But we'll talk about we'll talk about that later on.
Robbo, we did agree that we wasn't going to mention Man United for the rest of the season.
No, we will.
Even though Edo's here.
How are you gonna? How are we not going to mention Man United? Why would you come on and not mention Manchester United, the biggest club in the world?
Well, we know that. And at the moment, it's going through a rocky patch, which you and Gussie and fellow Liverpudlians are taking great pride in hammering us.
It's got nothing to do with me and Liverpool. It's just to do... But the show's not called Liverpool Show. It's got it's called a Fixture List.
I thought it was. After 30 years.
It's not called a Liverpool Show.
Yeah, all right. Okay. All right.
Don't worry, man. You got your bag, man. You got Martin to back you. Martin, just get the guns out anytime.
Well, yeah, I can only defend you for about 5 more minutes, but yeah. If Brentford, I can't see it happening, to be honest with you. But it would be a great feeling for them, a great feeling, especially after the season that they've had. Do you know what I mean? It'd be a
I
great
can
feeling for
see it.
them.
I can see it. Well, Edo, what you saying, man?
Yeah, it's squeaky bum time. Always. These guys don't play like a team. There's no coordination. It's very individualistic. I think some of them have written off the
They want to get on the
freaking
beach,
season.
innit? They want to get the
Yeah,
nearest
like
beach.
Rashford was not tracking back the game. The game against Chelsea. Literally left Tellers out to dry. Ilanga, obviously we know he's trying, but he's not good enough. Bruno was doing the usual spraying of the passes, just kicking the ball every time he gets it, losing it.
Spammer.
McTominay had like 19 touches in 90 minutes, 17 touches, him and Bruno, like if you count what they really did with the ball. It's ridiculous. We are just not,
Well, let's not talk about the predictions as yet. But we are going to talk about a few games. Manchester United, of course. There is a game that's Arsenal West Ham seems like one of the most interesting games of the season. Could it mean something for Arsenal? Could Arsenal firmly hold on to that fourth place, starting from obviously where they left off this week? Two big games. But there are other games which I think are very interesting myself. I think the Newcastle-Liverpool, for reasons, Newcastle doing really well, looking to take their chance against Liverpool at home. Their fan base has been amazing. It's pushed them over the line. And another team that's got a crazy fan base is Leeds United, who play at home against Man City, 5:30. So both of those games are like one at 12:30 in the afternoon, the first game that kicks off the weekend, and the other games that kicks off the evening kickoff. But let's go back to the Arsenal. How well do you think Arsenal's done, Edu? Even though they played Manchester United, scrappy game, we all saw it. I don't think they were at their best, but how well do you think they've done? Because they could possibly get that fourth place.
Yeah, but I think if you watch how they play, Arteta obviously they say got rid of the deadwood and the people and the egos in the team, and gotten these young bloods, and he's managed to blood them in. Your Sakas, your Odegaards, these guys are playing out their skin, Smith Rowe. And they're not as good. You could tell when they played against us, it was a really bad game. It was the best of the worst that won the game. But they seem to have a bit of a better structure. Obviously, he spent more time with them. And the kids do listen. Our lot don't listen at all. But I think Arsenal do that against big teams. Arteta is very much like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. The games you don't expect him to win, he bags a win. And the games you expect him to go and beat the opposition, they just flop. And that's where I think they really need to address that. So I don't know. Because if you put two banks of four, just like us, if you put two banks of four, Arsenal ain't breaking you down. They struggle. And I think they need a team that comes out and plays and gives you space in the midfield, acres of space like United, to be able to put their system, their tiki-taka, almost tiki-taka, kind of like Man City style to work. So I think that they will struggle. They will struggle with West Ham. Luckily for them, West Ham might just have one eye on the return leg. It depends on what team they put out as well, if they take that competition seriously. But so other than that, I think it might be a draw, but it's going to be a really tough game. Depends on what team West Ham puts out.
Do you think Fernandez, when you saw him stroll up to the ball, Ernie, were you confident? Were you brimming?
With what? The penalty?
Bruno.
What, with the penalty?
Yeah. With
No,
Bruno
I
stepping up.
don't know why Ronaldo never took it. Him and his jump up style business, man's worked that out now. All right, he hit the post, the goalkeeper never saved it. But you know what I mean? Ronaldo's just gonna run up to it and tear it in the net, rude boy.
Yeah, but the jump up stars work. The man, I jump up like Admiral Bailey. I thought he was gonna put it in.
Yes, but that was then. People's kind of worked that out now. That ain't happening now. Man's just got and the situation that we're in, you know what I mean? It's better he just kick it and it goes over the bar than them jump up business, hit the post and he's looking amazed. Get lost.
Hey, did you think it was gonna miss, Edu? I thought that was
when I saw him pick up
penalty.
the ball to kick, I knew he was going to miss. I mean, there's a few factors. He's low on confidence. Some of the fan base have turned on him. He hasn't scored as many goals. I mean, he scored like 9 goals, and we've got 3 or 4 games left in the season. That tells you just how badly he's been performing, and also when he doesn't score, he doesn't offer much to the team, and people are getting onto him now because there's some players. I mean, okay, we look at somebody like Iniesta. We never used to talk about Iniesta's stats, but you can see the man controls the midfield, and you get, these are people who get man of the match without scoring a goal or having an assist because they are controlling the game, and he's struggling. And you see the same for him in the Portugal team because they've got a structure. He struggles when there's structure. He likes free reign, like how Oli did. Just told him, go out and do your thing. That's why you see he's the furthest man up top, and you're like, when he's up top, means there's space in behind, and that's why Chelsea were opening us up with 3 passes, bruh. 3 passes, they have a shot on goal. So there's a lot of indiscipline in our midfield, in our play, and it stems off from Bruno, because when he just jets off and goes, the space is in behind. And these teams will work you out. If there's space and there's 2v4 or 2v3, they're cutting through you with just a few passes. I knew he was going to miss. He's down on confidence, and he's just not doing it.
I know Martin's got a run. What was your take on the abysmal season? And you're a QPR fan. What's your take on the abysmal season at OT? Because I know you watch them.
There's always something. Yeah, it's that. I think that for a number of years we watched them play with a particular formula, and something's just upset that in the last few years, and you're just struggling to get it back. Even though you may have like slight periods of brilliance, you're just not the same force that you were. Unfortunately, it looks like roles have been reversed, and a certain other gentleman's team that wears red.
Say it, Liverpool, man. What's the banter for, man? Just say it. Come on, get it out.
It looks like you've swapped roles now. And I know that's a hard pill for you to swallow, Ernie, but it's the truth. I've been really, really impressed with Liverpool in the last 3 years. Very, very impressed.
Yeah. But we'll rise again. We're like the Phoenix. We will rise from the ashes. To the world, Robbo. Remember that. Remember this day. To the world.
Yeah, okay. All right. Will you rise again? Ten Hag taking the wheel. What do you think about this situation? Ernie, let me ask Ernie. So when Rio Ferdinand says, "Why this manager ain't got no passion? I can't believe that. Why he lost the game?" and he had other things on his mind. He was working out how many years and the contract with Austria. Was you surprised about that? Because that news jumped out.
I'm going to jump out before we answer this, guys, and just say thank you for having me on the show. But I've got to run now. But God bless.
And, do you think, my brother?
Invite me back, man. Invite me back next season.
Yeah, best.
Hey, tell us before you run out.
Yeah.
Carnival is happening this year. How confident are you that Notting Hill Carnival 2022 is going to be the biggest and best carnival ever?
Oh, very, very confident. I think that the attitude of everybody that's involved in carnival, whether they're making masks like I am. I'm currently in a photo studio.
Oh, is that what the noise was all about?
Yeah.
Mask, yeah, make mask.
Hang on, can you send one of the girls in their costume just to come on?
You should have done that long ago. Send one of the girls instead of them talking to Daddy Ernie. Send the guys them come. Send them come. Now the man bringing the juice.
Yeah, so why are we talking to Martin then?
Yeah, defending Daddy Ernie. Bring the girls on the mask.
They're not coming. They don't want to come. But it's going to be a good carnival. And I just hope that
good. Is it going to be the greatest? That's what I want to know.
I'm hoping it will be. Why
are you confident? Apart from the 2-year break, but what gives you confidence that this carnival can? Because it's got to be the great advert.
I think the 2-year break taught a lot of us stuff that we were too involved in getting carnival on the road to actually appreciate. So when we had that 2 years and it was just a virtual carnival, there was a lot of things that we were able to take on board and learn, so that now that we're approaching 2022, there's an added knowledge that we've got, to bring a better carnival. And that is what I'm looking forward to. I think you're going to see a few different things this year.
All right, smash that like for Carnival
Yeah, man.
2022. You heard it from a man who's been doing. How many years you been doing a fit? Because you are Carnival. You are that. You're the Bacchanal champ. How many
You
years
know that.
officially? Because you are the king of Bacchanal in the UK still. You know.
I don't get involved in the King talk, but with 32 years this year will be from when I started on Choice. So yeah, as Martin J, 32
that's very
years.
kingly. That's kingly.
Kingly character.
Yeah, 32 years, very kingly, mate.
And he's still around, so I can still be the prince, man. I'm still a good few years his junior.
Don't worry, you're the king of soca. Don't worry about that.
Listen, when you come back, don't be his backing dance, all right? That stuff.
I won't.
He's just jealous, Martin. Don't worry about him.
But I've got a lot of love for Robbo as well. I've got a lot. I remember busting into that studio on Askew Road, and Robbo was there doing his show. I went to bring a record to Ken Youngblood or something. That's how long ago I'm talking about.
Did you come to take the aerial down? Was that it?
No. I mean, no.
I think after you left, the aerial did disappear. Yo, big up Vinny when you see him, man.
I will do.
Goes out to my brother Vinny.
Yeah,
Rams,
man.
man.
Respect, guys.
All right,
Bless up, bro.
Bless up, yeah?
There you go, man. Martin J, King of Soca.
Remember, put your comments in. Patrick Tappin's arrived. Gussie Young is in there. What's he saying? Edu, this is typical of Manchester United. Both Fernandes and Ragnick must be laughing all the way to the bank. You're just jealous, Patrick, because you haven't got the money to sustain things like that. You know what I mean?
Well,
So,
I'm trying to understand that. He's saying that, it's the money they've made. Well, Ragnick's made a piece load of money being interim. And Fernandes, how many years contracts has he just signed?
Oh, man. Added 3 years.
What did they give him? 3 years, isn't it?
Yeah, 3 years, and they doubled his money.
God, dear me. Shocking.
Yeah.
At least wait till Ten Hag comes and assess what's going on.
Yeah, that's
you know what I mean?
That's our biggest problem.
Yeah, but you got to secure. They may have to just secure him, just get the job done and secure the man.
Well, I mean, they haven't secured your man over at your side. There's still haggling going on with that contract, isn't it?
Yeah, but this is the biggest security that we need. Jurgen Klopp just signed an extension to his deal, takes him through till 2026. He was supposed to leave in, he was actually kind of muted to leave. 2 more years, and he's added an extension, 2026. That is pain and sorrow. That man has transformed Liverpool into the team what it is.
Pain and sorrow to what?
Every club that sits below us.
Well, there's only. I mean, you got to pass Man City yet. You haven't done that. You know what I mean?
We've passed Man City. We've won the league. We've won the league with Pep Guardiola at the top. Well, you haven't won the league since Pep Guardiola's come in. So
no, we haven't. But you've only won it.
He's
once,
a hard man
right?
to pass. And
so I don't see the pain and sorrow. It could all end in tears. Still,
and would end in tears. It's been a fantastic season.
No, I'm not talking about it. He signed an extension to his contract, believing that he can go on and surpass what he's done already. Right? That's why he signed the contract. He's won
Club World Cup. He's won a Caribou Cup. He's never won one of those Mickey Mouse Cups.
Well,
he's about to do he's in the final of the FA Cup. He's won the league and he's won the European Cup. I reckon that's a blinding result for a man who's been there for 6 years.
All right. So what's the point of him staying for another 3 years? Because, I
think he wants to win more trophies.
Well, the German national side is not ready for him yet. That's why he's just hanging around at Anfield, because he's achieved everything he wanted to achieve.
No, he hasn't. How's he achieved? He's never won the FA Cup.
Well, that's a matter of time, isn't it?
He's never retained the league.
Well, he's not going to do that.
Why?
When's he going to do that?
Why wouldn't he retain the league? He might win it next year.
When is he going to do it? When is he going to do it? Tell me. Enlighten me.
How long is a piece of string? I don't know.
All right, he's got a new contract until when?
Why don't you believe that he can win the league if he's done it before and he's beaten the manager?
He's got to retain it. And I keep on telling people, until he wins that treble, that elusive treble that we won. You know the one, Edu?
Yeah.
You know that.
Big up, Jackman.
Really and truly, he ain't supposed to be even talking to us, Robbo.
Why?
Because you need the FA Cup, you need the Premiership.
I think we've established it's about the here and now, and in the here and now, he's done what he's needed to do.
Yeah, but you're saying that he wants to win some more trophies.
Yeah.
But we know the Holy Grail was the Premiership. And
I don't know about that. The Holy Grail was 30. Listen, that was 30 years ago. He's won the Premiership.
That's the Holy Grail. That was the Holy Grail. You know that. That was the Holy Grail that he wanted to win. And he won it, and they ain't been able to celebrate it. You and Gussie and the rest of them ain't been able to celebrate because it was during the pandemic, right? So you know what? Now
there's a lot of things. Hang on, wait, whoa. Back up a bit. Back up. Hang on. Back up a bit. There's a lot of things that couldn't happen because of the pandemic. I don't see what that's fine.
Yeah, but one of the greatest things is that you lot could not celebrate.
What do you mean? But they've won it.
What?
They won it. They won the Premiership.
Open top bus parade and all them business.
Who cares about open top bus parade? It would happen. It would happen in Liverpool. I don't care. Open top, open schmop. They won the league, Ernie.
You and your fellow supporters would love that bus going around Liverpool, right? With the trophy. You would love that. And it didn't happen. For whatever reason, it didn't happen.
That pleases you no end then.
That pleases what? At least I got that to hold on to. Give us
anyway, let's move on. Big up chat, man. Hats off to Liverpool and City. They're miles ahead of the rest. That's what we're talking about, the here and now, not chasing an open top bus around Liverpool. I don't know where you're on, bro. We're talking about the here and now, Ernie.
Robert, I've heard that.
Anyway, let's get back. Smack yourself, Ernie. We're talking about the extension for Jurgen Klopp. It's another 2 years. 2026. I think he has a chance of winning lots more trophies. Guardiola's talking about he's happy being at Man City. He could extend. Mm-hmm. Doesn't that mean Edu?
What about Tuchel? Tuchel could extend.
Tuchel could extend. Doesn't that mean that spells a very quiet period for all the other clubs if you've got two top managers who are fighting for number one and number two? Edu.
Yeah, and it becomes worse every season because those teams will strengthen. And they'll just keep going further and further. Where there's a lot, we have our work cut out.
Do you think so? Do you think that they're going to be going away from us, Edu?
Yeah, because I mean, Pep and Klopp have clearly.
There you go, Ernie.
They really got themselves into position 1 and 2, and they've been fighting for that. And Chelsea, without even trying that hard, are in that 3rd position. Now you look at. The 4th position is there for anyone to take. Tottenham don't want it. United don't want it. West Ham have a chance in there. Mathematically, Arsenal. I mean, that's floppy. But the first 3 positions haven't been. You know, you look at the longevity of the Premiership and you see those 3 teams. Obviously, Liverpool and Man City are way ahead of everyone else. Then Chelsea's in a comfortable 3rd. Everyone else is fighting for top 4. And there's 4 teams in there fighting for that. And that's why I think when they strengthen again, I don't think the market is really good this time around because like most teams need a striker. If the there's only 2 or 3 standout strikers that you can buy in the season, unless you transform a winger into a striker or have a false 9, you know, but that would need a club that plays that system. Because apart from Haaland and Lewandowski and maybe Benzema, there's not very many standout forwards you can get.
What are you talking about? This man's coming for your food, man. Eddie.
Who's
Eddie.
Yeah, right.
I watched Eddie Nketiah's interview the other day.
What has he done in football?
It was an interesting interview. It was really interesting. I mean, he talked with a lot of confidence, but I suppose that's like with most players of his age, the exuberance of youth. But that was a really interesting interview because the person that was the 2 guys that was conducting the interview pulled these stats out in front of him, his England stats, his under 21 goals and stuff like that. And he really fancies himself, Eddie Nketiah. He says, I'm the type of guy that knocks on Arteta's door, and I've had plenty of conversations with him. And
so
the way he was
in the Arsenal team then?
Well, he kind of spoke about it in the interview, which I thought was a bit. Did you find it on the edge a bit, Edu, because
I was like, man, who's the publicist?
he didn't have a publicist.
A lot of these people lack, especially the young players, they lack self-awareness. Some of these people do not know how good or how bad they are. Literally, I think they they go off FIFA stats, honestly, because the man who are gassing him up are all people who play FIFA, don't actually watch the game, don't understand the intricacies of the game, and either just play FIFA or just watch stats. Because with stats, without context, you can make your mind up about a player. If somebody woke up from the dead today and saw the stats, they would think somebody like Bruno Fernandes had an amazing, you know.
Wow, Mitchell, that's a bit harsh.
No. They think he had an amazing season.
Yeah. I mean, what he's put in the international, but the times he does turn up for Arsenal, he does do bits when he gets full. He claims that Arteta doesn't give him enough time. And the comments where he said, "Well, he puts me on for 8 minutes. Would you expect me to do?" I thought, it was a strong interview. But I suppose that, you know, he was talking to one of his friends, and I think the two guys that conducted the interview kind of know him. But it was really open. It was a really open interview. But I was like, damn. He asked him about Uber. And he said,
doesn't lace
he says, Uber, man, he's a great guy, what he done at the club, but boy, is every man to themselves.
Oh, wow.
Have you seen the interview, Ernie?
No, I haven't.
You need to watch that.
I will watch. I will. It's on. Obviously, it's on YouTube, right?
Yeah, it's on YouTube. It's on YouTube.
Okay, all right. I will watch it. But I just saw somebody put up there something about Eddie is a B-Tech Brewster.
Get the guy. I know Arsenal fans have got a lot to say about him. He was at Leeds United for a bit. Shouts to Richard Smith, man. What's Richard Smith? He's a Leeds United fan. This is the reason.
Auriga won't leave Liverpool. Why? Because Jurgen signed a new contract.
It's Liverpool, bro.
Huh?
It's Liverpool. I have to keep correcting you.
Did I say that?
You know, you keep saying Liverpool. I got to keep correcting you on the show, bro.
Hear it out of your mouth.
It's childish, bro. It's childish. Come on, man.
I was near there today, actually. I took a wrong turn and was heading up. When I realized I was going up there, but just turn off the first turn off I could make, I just turned off. I wasn't going nowhere near there.
I'm sure they don't want to see you up there either, mate. Ronaldo's brilliance. United relying on Ronaldo's brilliance.
Well, I'd agree with that. I agree. I mean, he's come in and scored an absolute bag full of goals at 37 years of age. Them youngsters should be embarrassed.
Yeah.
Why?
That's why I always say the team is not nice
difficult.
because if he can
difficult.
come and replace Bruno.
A 37-year-old Robbo scoring 17. How much Premiership goals? 17 Premiership goals?
Yeah, he's got 17. He's got 17.
Yeah, but I think he's a obviously Ronaldo's a cut above the rest, man. I think the closest player that would have scored the goals near Ronaldo would have been Greenwood at best, and maybe Anthony Martial if he was given a proper run in the team, man. It's very hard to match any, get them kids up to anywhere near Cristiano Ronaldo, bro. He's a machine, bro. And I'm looking at Salah thinking, you better hurry up, kid, because this man will get golden boot. He's only 5 goals behind Salah.
Yeah.
And Salah's had an amazing season, like up to the first half of the before Africa Cup of Nations.
Yeah. So hold on a minute, Robbo. Do you think he's going to sign this contract? What's he holding out for?
I think he's holding out to see where the other players move around, because it's like a big magic merry-go-round, and there is word now. I don't know how true it is that Mbappe is going to stay at PSG. Now, if Mbappe stays at PSG, Haaland goes to Manchester City. Just to say, theoretically, Haaland goes to Manchester City. Real Madrid would be forced to be keeping Benzema for another season. Might not be a bad thing, but they may want to freshen up. And Barcelona still got a big hole there. So there's clubs that he could go. If Mbappe stays at PSG, he could probably go and play on the other side at PSG. But
we're hearing that Neymar might come to Manchester United. Have you heard that, Edu?
No, I haven't heard that one.
Yeah, I saw it this morning that apparently
What newspaper? What newspaper did you watch? What newspaper was you reading?
on the Manchester United fanzine. They've got a brother on the Manchester United fanzine. He reckons that there is talk that Neymar might come to United. Might.
Well, this is the problem with United. Anytime the results don't go our way or are not favorable, these guys spin some stories just to keep the fans on side. So that's why I never, unless the man's holding the shirt, I just don't watch them. I don't watch that because we don't need one player. We need open heart surgery.
Richard Smith, Rashford should go to Arsenal so he can be nearer to Parliament.
Slackness, man.
People are really taking the mickey out of us. What's Patrick Tapping saying? It? Can someone please speak to who?
In the natural.
He's better
because he's better as a substitute. Yeah, there's a strike. Listen, man, we have a striker problem. I think the best, most unwanted striker in the whole league's got to be Origi, though, isn't it? I don't know. So much.
He only appears every now and again. When he appears, he scores.
I don't know what it is. And then Richard Smith, I do agree, man. I do agree. When is Mane going to get his credit due from the media? We are the media, and I big up Mane every week. I've been telling you, I've told you guys, I've been telling Daddy Ernie and his clan that this is the Ballon d'Or guy, but you can't see it. See, when Ed comes on and he starts telling me about best player in the world, mate, Harry Kane, I'm like, are you joking?
I'm not saying
to Mane.
I'm not saying that Mane is Ballon d'Or type, but
he's
you know
Ballon d'Or. Why is he not Ballon d'Or?
Bruv, you know me already. It's just like when I speak about our man at Manchester City and you tell me about Foden, all right? And there's no way I'm putting my man Sterling, I'm putting him down over Foden. Same with Mane.
Foden, son.
All right, well, whatever, right? Mane to me, right? All right, Salah or Salad or whatever you want to call him has done his thing, but Mane,
Salah, man,
the amount of assists, goals,
foolish. Salah, the man name. Right, I don't want the brothers them to come for me. Stop it.
Worry. If they come for you, tell them to come and see me. I will.
They don't want it. They're not coming to look for you, bro.
We have to man them. I mean, you know. I mean, really, where's Gus?
If they come to look for you, this will be you. Get out of here about telling man them to come look for me. The man them ain't coming to look for you, son.
Jeff Schumann and all them man, they can't come and talk to me. They're a bag of wind. You know
I don't know what you're I listen, I don't know, man.
No, Mane,
yes.
Definitely, I rate him highly. For me, was at Southampton, I rate that youth there. You know what I mean? Why he turned up, how he got to Liverpool, I'd never know.
Because Liverpool bought him, man.
Yeah, we were linked to him. We were actually linked to Mane. I think
he was linked to Mane at one time before Liverpool.
I think,
so was Tottenham.
Mourinho wanted him.
You know what I mean? So, yes, if he gets the Ballon d'Or, I would be jumping up and down. Definitely, Ballon d'Or.
Not for Mo Salah get the Ballon d'Or because Mo Salah's just been awarded the Footballers' Writers Player of the Year. This, as you heard, announced today.
He can have that. And no problem with that. He can have that. He can have the BBC Players of the Year, but you know he's the Ballon d'Or.
Why do you think they voted Mo Salah this year, Ernie?
Maybe I'm sorry for him. Because he's been touted around to get the Ballon d'Or. He's done, he's been top scorer and he hasn't got the Ballon d'Or and bits and pieces. So they said, you know what? Let the writers give him something. You know what I mean? He lost.
Do you think that was logic? Let me ask you. Let me pause you.
Done him in the African nations. Done him in the World Cup.
All right, let me pause you so you can just talk football. You think that's the reason why Mo Salah got Player of the Season because they felt sorry for him?
Yeah, because he was as far as they was concerned, he should have got the Ballon d'Or, and he didn't get it.
And there you go, people. Another classic moment for the show.
What? Edo, do you think that he should have got the Ballon d'Or?
It's not Ballon d'Or season yet, bro.
No, last season I'm talking about. They nailed him on to get it last season.
Who nailed him on? Who nailed him on? Who nailed him on?
Come on. You were saying that he's going to get it.
I didn't nail him on. I just didn't think that the guy you said, Hagalan,
Yeah.
should have got Ballon d'Or, but you came on here and consistently pushed this. Well, there's no player called Hageland in it. It's Haaland. You said
Haaland, all right.
Hageland should
Yeah.
win the Ballon d'Or.
Yeah.
And I asked you why. You said, because you watch him, he should win the Ballon d'Or.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you still think that?
No, not this season. Not this season.
But you thought he should have won the Ballon d'Or
You know what?
last season.
I think what's his name?
Over Lewandowski.
Well, there's a case for that because Lewandowski did perform last season. But this season here, I think Benzema's got a case this season.
No, if he's got a case on important goals, you'd have to say Mo Salah's in the same. He's in the same or
No,
near enough
Mane's
same
scored
boat.
more important goals than Mo.
Yeah, but Mo Salah's scored goals in Premier League as well. He's top goal scorer.
Yeah, he's top
So if you're going to
goal
base it
scorer,
on goals,
top assist as well.
Yeah,
Top
but
assist, top goal scorer.
yeah, but how far is Mane behind him?
who knows? It'll be a decision down. Listen, I'm.
Mane's in
Can you
fifth
see
with
me worrying
14.
about it, Ernie? I couldn't get.
So Salah's on 22, Mane is on 14 goals.
Okay, but you know they always when it's like the African nations, it's Salah against Mane. When it's a World Cup, Salah against Mane. You know what I mean? And they forget about all the others because you know there's a hidden agenda. But
What is the
I'm
hidden
not
agenda?
one that. What?
What is the hidden agenda here?
Do you think that they want Mane to be top man?
Why not?
Come on, Robbo. Come on, they gotta have somebody up there.
Hey,
Isn't it?
listen, let's be real. Are you saying that Mane can't be Ballon d'Or because he's a black-skinned footballer? Say
Well,
it.
I think.
Call
Yeah.
it what you think.
Yeah. They'll always push, right, to get.
So what's the difference
Salah.
between Benzema, Salah, and Mane?
What's the difference?
Yeah, what would be the difference?
Well,
Just
they
a
all
shade
come
of
from
their
the
skin?
African- They all come from the African continent. That's for sure.
Yeah, so
So it's a shade
Okay.
of their skin. And Mane's a little bit too dark. I
okay.
said it. You know what I mean?
We heard you, Ernie.
Yeah.
We heard you. If you believe, we heard you. If you agree with Ernie, put it in the chat.
Drop it in the comments. Drop
I
it in the
think
comments.
Mane's won. He's a king of Africa Cup of Nations. I don't think you can ignore it. It wouldn't be based. I don't know. I don't think you can. Anybody can base that on the color of his skin, man. It's right there in front of you, bro. And if he comes to Europe, if he wins the just say Liverpool did win the Champions League, you couldn't give it to anybody. Benzema have to sit down. He'd have to sit down.
All right. So
On the
if
back
they
seat.
win the Champions League, then it's going to come down to Mane and
I think if
Mo.
they won the Champions League and Salah and Mane both picked up the Champions League, you have to give it to Mane.
oh well, we'll wait and see.
Because Messi won Copa America based on winning Copa America.
America, yeah. So we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see. If that situation arises, remember this day. What's the date? The 29th of April.
Shut up, Eddie.
We'll wait and see. Why isn't Eddie here anyway?
I don't know.
He's putting in bits and pieces. He should be here.
He said you gave him a dud address. What's going on, Eddie?
What that address? I gave him the same one as Martin J. Martin J got here, so why ain't he got here?
Come on, Eddie. We're waiting for
Come on,
Eddie.
Get on, Eddie. Get on. All
Yeah,
right.
man.
Well, I'll send him it again. How long we
Robbo,
got?
and I've kind of noticed some players have, favorable journalism going for them. So sometimes
Yeah,
you
definitely.
find-
I think that is 100% plays a big
yeah,
part.
you find
The
that
me-
some,
the me-
some are better PR.
But the,
Two players
remember,
will
the
do
media,
exactly the
the
same
media
thing.
don't judge the. It's not the media that judge the Ballon d'Or. It's not the newspapers because we know they're never going to give you credit. If it was down to the newspaper, Harry Kane is and the other.
Well, that's another
it's
argument
very well.
altogether, isn't it? That's another argument altogether with him.
Yeah, so
You know what I mean?
Some players just get the benefit of when the information is put out there. Two players could do exactly the same thing,
Same thing.
and one will get crucified for the same thing. And I think these notions go around and they filter around to people making decisions
Yes.
because you're like, yeah, he's a nice guy. Maybe he's not a very nice guy. Remember, he did this. You remember, just because of the PR they're getting. So I think PR also has something little to do with it sometimes. It's, if you've got good PR, because like if Kante performed amazingly, they would easily give him the.
Oh, he should have won the Ballon
Kante.
d'Or. He should have won the Ballon d'Or the year where Chelsea won.
Long time. That's what I'm saying.
He gets some good PR. They absolutely love Kante. But because I mean we had Rashford. Sorry to always refer to United. Rashford had a 1 out of 10.
Don't be sorry. Don't be sorry. Just get it out. Get it out. Don't worry about Ernie. Get it out.
Rashford had a 1 out of 10 game the other day, and no one booed him when he came off the pitch.
Yeah.
Pogba's got I think he's got 9 assists. He hasn't played majority of the season. He's 4th in assists, and he's the highest in our team. And when he gets off the pitch, he's getting booed. That's why I think sometimes these stats need to be put into context and watch the game. I mean, if you're not watching the games, I don't think the stats mean anything if you can't combine what you see. The eye test is very important. People
do have bias. People in the media, but as you can clearly see with Ernie on here, he's just got a bias. I mean, that's just a small example, Ernie. You just got a bias. But can you imagine if you're one of those newspaper people, Sky, and they got bias, man. Ernie displays exactly what I'm talking about. You got to allow the biases, Ernie.
Oh, so what am I biased towards Liverpool then? That's what you're saying. I'm biased.
Oh yeah, you the way you I mean. You talk about it. I'm not going to repeat what you keep calling the city. You keep calling the city a name. What? I just don't understand why you would call a city that name. I don't know what the city's done to you. Even the Salah thing, but you're just biased. Every time the name comes up, you have a problem with it. You are like those hacks at the newspapers. You're no different.
To be biased because I can remember when Liverpool was biased towards Manchester United when we never won.
But listen,
So I am biased towards that mob.
Well, why can't we deal? All right, Ernie. Why can't we deal with the here and now?
Huh?
Why can't we deal with the here and now?
Yeah. Who sung that song? Luther Vandross sung that song, innit? Here and now.
Yeah.
Let me see what this comment says. Surprise, surprise.
Busy signal done the radio.
Ernie is very biased. I think it's a medical condition. You see what I'm saying? You get battered. You know that is in the comments. You get battered in the comments.
You know that is. That's Patrick Chappin's best friend.
Nah.
Who supports Tottenham? No sense at all.
No.
No sense whatsoever.
Why, if he supports Tottenham and he's got a view about football, why? Do you think a man who watches Tottenham doesn't know anything? Patrick Tappins knows about football. He ribs us, but he knows about football. Come on, Ernie.
Put up the Sainsbury's car park.
No. Not now, because this is the serious part of the show. This is serious. I want Eddie. I need Eddie on the show. Eddie, stop playing about. Come on, son.
I don't know why he don't come in. You know what I mean? But Eddie can't get over watching the game during the week when I rang him and he said he was watching. I said, what are you doing? Why are you
Eddie?
I need
hang on.
To ring Eddie to find out what are you doing watching the game?
Now, listen, you got to watch the game. And if you come here on a Friday, at least have some insight about the game. Or else, if you don't, people will think you don't know what you're talking about, Ernie.
There's no insight to have. What insight is there to have?
Well, you got to watch the game.
Yeah, but what insight is Edu watch the game?
All right. Why don't we? Hang on. Let me.
Rubbish.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay. Let me ask the consumers. Do you think you need to watch the game to know about the game? Please drop your comments in there. Just for Ernie. I'm probably right. Anyway, Batman in the building.
Who's this?
Eddie has to put some light on your black face, or you will not be winning it.
I'm in the car.
Put some light on your black face. Hey, listen. You won't win any awards. According to Ernie.
They can't see you.
Greetings, Edu. I'm so sorry. I went to Westfield to try to buy my boy. I forgot he's making his first communion tomorrow, and I couldn't find no suit. I'm in a big problem. I can't even go back to my house.
Can't can't you get a tailor to sort of adjust one of your suits to fit him?
Your bumbo. Do you know what that means? Your bumbo. Listen, it's so weird that I can hear you lot talking about the Ballon d'Or because, of course, if the African Cup of Nations got the kind of attention that the Champions League got, of course he would be right up there, but it doesn't. And if you look at the performances of Benzema in the highest cup competition in the world, they have been outstanding. He has single-handedly kept Real Madrid, the biggest club in the world, in the competition. If they win it, he cannot beat Benzema to get the Ballon d'Or. It just doesn't work like that.
Yeah, 100%. But if Liverpool beat, say for instance, Real Madrid in the final, who gets the Ballon d'Or?
It depends who has the best game. Because if he has a stinker of a game, you know, remember, when we watch these competitions, we watch players who play magnificently in those competitions. And everybody will be watching the Champions League final. There won't be any of us. It will be like, you know, Dylan White and Tyson. Everybody is watching the boxing. So that's what you make your decision on.
So why didn't Kante single-handedly wrestled the whole of Man City's midfield? He had them in a headlock, one like in the Champions League final. If it was based down to the final, why was Jorginho's name called above Kante's? Because he had a fantastic.
He's never been a fashionable player. He's been like one of those, you know, he's like in one of them movies where you got the best actor being the black guy, but he's not the star of the film. He's just the hardest working. And he's there. And only the people who truly know appreciate what he's doing. But he's never going to be the star of any team. And yet, they always say 2/3 of the earth is covered by water and the rest is covered by N'Golo Kante. He's a hard work. What I saw him do against Man United, I was just like, it hurt me to watch that game. We were appalling. We were absolutely appalled. 9 players I've got in my head. They just have to go. And it'll be 3 years before we're competitive again. And unless they give the manager that, then we should forget it.
So what do you reckon on Ten Hag then? Tell us, Eddie. What do you reckon on Ten Hag?
I had a long look at his history. So he comes from a really unfashionable part of the country. And he went and they didn't really like him. And they say he's a stickler for detail. So he will have 11 against none. He'll play a game, 11 against no one. Right? And what you do is you have to keep moving the ball. And you have to keep moving so that everybody knows where you are when you're moving the ball.
Is that the Ajax way?
For detail. So one of the stories they came back with him about was that the woman who used to come used to put the bottles down and used to just put the man in. He said, no, don't put the man in any order. Put them down in rows. He's so finicky. He put a window in the door of the dressing room so that everybody could see what he was doing. He said, if you can't see me, then I'm not approachable. He comes with a different philosophy, but they have to go with it.
So you think it'll take as long as 3 years if he, I mean, he's done so well at Ajax. You think that's a 3 year before you make an impact?
Bruv, have you been watching? Don't wind me up. Don't wind me up. I'm not Ernie. Don't wind me up with your foolishness. I know what you're doing. I know. I used to watch
media. You know the media.
You used to play out in the raves with Tim Westwood.
Anyway, we're going to come to that. Ernie, just to hang on.
I'm going to trouble you.
All right, just to answer your question, Ernie, and don't say because he supports Tottenham. Of course, you have to watch. But Ernie watched a lot of game, and he's still clueless. Yeah.
That's why
he phoned me in the middle of the game, Robo. I said to him, "What do you want?" In the middle of the game, he phoned me. "What do you want, Ernie? Why are you phoning me?"
You definitely need to watch the game and to comment on it, Ernie. So you don't think you need to watch the game?
No, I only need to watch the game when we are firing on all cylinders. Then I'll have a lot to talk about.
Nah. In fact, I used to do a podcast called the Red Podcast, right, man?
I came to that one, didn't it?
Ernie came and did that.
Yeah,
Best they say the people that make the best podcast are Tottenham because their team is so rubbish. They always have something to moan about. Is
that true, Patrick?
When Arsenal TV is doing well, it's when they're doing rubbish, isn't it?
Yes. Yep.
Hey, Eddie, Is that, yeah, you sound like a chip. You sound like a chipmunk. You sound like me. Eddie sounds different. He sounds like a robot tonight.
I'm sorry. I'm really. Oh, hold on. Let me change something. Hold on.
Ernie,
Hold on.
Richard Smith, you have to watch.
Yeah, all right, yeah.
So you got a few games to watch, and then maybe you can embellish us with some information about the game. I don't know how you believe you don't have to watch the game.
Remember when I give you my intuition the other day, you kind of poo-pooed it, and my intuition was right.
I didn't poo-poo your information. Your intuition was poo-poo anyway. So I didn't have to do. I didn't have to do much. Early, you're under fire. You're under fire. Under fire. Your team's under fire.
That's all right.
Brentford.
We can take it.
We don't care if you can take it. We're just asking you. You're under fire.
Okay.
Who cares? Yeah, Brentford, Ivan Toney. You reckon you can stuff Brentford and send them down the motorway? Yes or no?
I would like to think so, but it wouldn't surprise me if we didn't. What? You lost words?
Yeah.
No. I'm listening. That sound like that sound like refreshing. That sounds like, sound like you had something else to say, but.
No.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to end with Maguire, but you see your talk done now. You don't have no Maguire argument. You can't use that. You use that for a whole season now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
how long is he out for?
Till he's not playing again.
How do you know that? Intuition?
My intuition tells me that he will not be playing for Manchester United again this season, with the possibility of not playing next season as well. And I'd be so happy.
I saw people making fun. I know it's not a joke, but they were like, yeah, he kept the bomb onside, things like these, like this is the first time he sensed danger. So wow, it was really bad. I mean, and I think partly you feel sorry for him, but partly you don't, because the fan base and the media don't have the same energy. Pogba said that he had mental issues. He was going through a mental breakdown, and no one said anything. I remember when Dan James' dad died in fact, that's what delayed the deal. And when he started playing shit, they're like, oh, his dad died, and you know what, Rashford or his girlfriend and all this. So I'm just
that was Ernie. That was Ernie with the girlfriend talk.
Yeah, so the excuses that are coming out of the camp are a mixture of player power. These guys have so much player power. And everyone is, Ragnick did say some of these lot are uncoachable. So I think that since they've written off the season and they're already,
planning,
it's a very dangerous thing, because they think that Ragnick will not pass on the information, or that probably our man there doesn't have scouts checking, and because he's very meticulous. Ten Hag is very meticulous.
Yeah.
Probably got man there just checking who's doing what, when, where, how. But we are going to struggle only because we lack the discipline, and we don't play as a team. I know we beat them 3-1 at the beginning of the season. We only played them once, but I think this time they might come for us.
Guys, if you got a prediction on the Manchester United game, I said it earlier on the show. I just felt, they could be on the beach already, Brentford, but I think going to Old Trafford is such a big stadium. A lot of those players want to prove that they are not a fluke. They're not a one-season wonder. If you remember, I think it was last season, wasn't it? Was it Sheffield? Or the season before? Sheffield coming to Manchester United.
Last day of the season, yeah.
Last season, they beat us 1-0.
And they came there, and it was like they partied like it was. So sometimes you have a situation where teams are at the back end of the season, they're on the beach, and there's some teams who's just like, we're going to enjoy it to the last drop.
Well, Ivan Toney's going to want to score it Old Trafford, isn't he? He's going to want to
I have a sense that Thomas Frank and Brentford want to celebrate their last few days, because, as I said, Sheffield went through it when they came up. They were like, we're staying up. That season when they stayed up, and they were blitzing teams out the door. So I think strangely, I think that could be if you don't get your act together, Ernie, that could be a Brentford win.
I ain't playing.
Ivan Toney, jeez.
Yeah, Ivan Toney will want to score at the Theatre of Dreams, but it's not about me getting my act
no, here's another comment for you, Ernie. Ernie, you got to watch the game, bro.
Yeah,
all your fans are telling you.
Bro, What's necessary mayhem? Curtis Lynch.
Don't worry about this. Just watch the comments. You got to watch the game.
Don't watch the game. I
He
speak
does
to
watch
these
the game.
people.
He does watch the game. He does watch the game.
They don't watch the game.
You got to watch the game. It's like doing a cooking show and not turning on the oven. Ernie, you can't. You honestly can't do Ernie cooks, and then we turn up, and then you say, "Yeah, the milk is off. I mean, you got no flour, no rice. There's no rice on place."
Bro,
went to the shop.
I'm on the radio. That's more important to me than watching Manchester United right now. You know what I mean? So I pick up after.
So will you promise us that you will stay on the radio and not come on a football show?
No, I can't promise that.
Well, then watch the game.
I can't promise that because you need
then
foolishness. Then
Edu, you can't have Edu be in your eyes. You got to watch the game, bro. So give me a prediction, people, please. I'm not trying to be biased here. 8 o'clock, Monday night special at the Theatre of Dreams. Brentford versus Manchester United. What is your score prediction, people? Let's go to Sunday. Very quick one. West Ham, Arsenal.
West Ham, Arsenal.
Yeah, I think we spoke about that briefly, about West Ham and their exploits in Europe. I think it's an away win. Arsenal. Yeah.
Yeah, I think West Ham will be tired. And plus, like Edu said, they'll be having one eye on a possible win in Frankfurt during the week. So, yeah, I think, that mob from over North London will probably walk away with the 3 points and secure top 4. You know what I mean? It's all right tapping because Pogba could end up at the Sainsbury's car park. So you go on.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a bad thing for Tottenham. I think the manager would. Well, if he ended up at Tottenham, that'd be a big move for him. That'd be big. That'd be big. Richard Smith reckons it's going to be 2-1 Man United. Big up Richard Smith. Yeah, I've got this. I don't know. I've just got this feeling, and yeah, they're getting it together, aren't they, Brentford?
Yeah, man. Well, they're secure now, ain't they? They reached the 40 points.
Yeah, they. I think there are a few games, about 2 more games off. I will have a look at that. But I think Ericsson would lead Theatre of Dream.
Yeah,
I can't believe it.
2-1 to United. We created one chance against Chelsea, and that's the one we scored. One chance. And it was Matic and Ronaldo combining, the oldest players on the pitch. It just doesn't make sense.
But
Brentford's got 40 points. They got 40. Yeah, they got 40 points. There
you go. But I think they'll enjoy their. I think again, this is why I think Liverpool's got a problem coming up, because these teams might just want to enjoy the last few games of the season. There's a couple of teams that won't enjoy it. Look like Crystal Palace not enjoying it, Aston Villa, Southampton. But I think Brentford and Newcastle are just going to say, "Hey, happy days, man." I think.
Well, Newcastle's been on a run, isn't they? They've won 7 at home. Hello. Where's Dominique?
The Don is back. The Don is back.
I'm really sorry about this. I'm sorry.
No worries. I did say come back, get your ass back on, and he's back. We also got the other game, which is.
Hold on. Just say hello to the kids, because just say hello. Mama. I didn't get your suit, but I will get it tomorrow. Right? Right.
Hey, son. No. Let me say, listen, son. If he tries to put you in the pajamas, don't make him pretend it's a suit. They're pajamas, yeah. Know the difference. I always know the difference. When your daddy dress you up.
I got a suit somewhere here.
Look at you.
How tall is your son?
Yeah. All right. Bye. I love you. Bye.
Man, put them in a Spider-Man suit. Don't worry, man. It's designer. It's designer.
Send him to communion.
Eddie, we might as well get your
Can I just say quickly? I said I don't understand why the people them can't make first communion in the school uniform. What's the problem with that?
It's I remember doing first communion. I remember me and my brothers. We were the sharpest people in there. You see, we went to a church and there was a lot of brothers, like Irish kids, and listen, no effort, man. Man just turning up in his jeans. Yeah. Buttoned up the shirt to the top. Me there all sharp and dandy.
That is the way it is.
Yeah, the Lord don't know no fashion, man. It's your soul, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm really sorry. Anything I've missed, well done to Newcastle. At some point, they're going to have to pay a price of morality, though.
Hang on, we'll talk about Newcastle in a minute, Ed. Let me give me a sensible.
81 people killed in one day in that country.
In where? Oh, yes, the owners, yeah. Leeds versus Manchester United. Now, I'm hoping,
Leeds
and so is Richard.
Leeds
Sorry, Manchester City.
Oh.
Sorry, wrong team, wrong club, same city.
Okay.
Biggest team in the city. Yeah, Leeds versus Manchester City. For me, it's not because it's not a Liverpool. I just think that's a stickler of a game. We spoke about it last week. Leeds beat them around about the same time last year with 10 men. Stuart Dallas, last minute, boom, 2-1. Pep was fuming. He's been fuming for the last few weeks.
And Leeds are going to pay for it.
Okay. All right.
Leeds is
break it down.
The best player has returned from injury. But really, if we look at it, there are lots and lots of this time of the year, Leeds are safe. It's Burnley or Everton. Leeds are safe. And
are you sure they're safe?
Well,
I think they're that safe.
Yeah, but they won't have factored getting 3 points against you. They'll have factored it, right? What do we need to win? And at this time of the year, you need to win points. There's somebody here who knows. Actually, you will need to win points from the teams around you. So they don't need to win points off Man City. They need to win points off of Norwich, of Everton, of those teams down there. So they won't have factored. They won't have factored in winning points against Man City. The worst thing for everybody else is that Man City, like Liverpool, are firing with a squad. So when you see Jesus come in and score those goals like that, it's because somebody's linked him to Arsenal, and it can't be great as a striker to not be playing and every week hearing about Haaland or hearing about the brother there from Tottenham. It means you're not good enough. Right, well, if I'm not good enough, there you go. There's 4. Let's see. Because whatever happens, he put his price up last week, didn't he?
Does he play?
Of course he plays. Because Pep isn't stupid. If he's playing with that attitude,
he's left him out a few weeks though before he came back into the squad. He's only played him because of the Champions League.
I thought I saw him playing in the Champions League. Did he play?
I'm not sure.
I'm sorry, please, because I didn't watch it for that. But I think he was playing in Champions League. If he's playing in the Champions League, listen. If you're a manager, right? They're not playing. They can't keep everybody in that squad happy. So if he's angry and he's scoring 4 goals, how do I drop him? Why do I drop him? Who scores 4 goals against Klopp?
Well, Leeds are not technically safe. Richard, you'd agree. 34 points. Everton are on 29, and Everton's got a game in hand. So they're not safe. There's a few games in it for Burnley.
Listen, Everton, you lot don't like talking the truth, which is why I like coming on here. Everton are fantastic because what they've done is, excuse me, Frank Lampard.
They lost to Liverpool.
Frank Lampard, right, as a Chelsea legend, had the same team as the manager now. The manager now came from PSV and he won the Champions League. With Chelsea, they were doing. They thought, well, Chelsea didn't know what they're doing, so they went and gave him that white privilege thing that Rooney's got and they've got. And where is he now? He's going to have the pleasure of taking Everton down into the next division. It's simple.
Wonderful.
On the basis of what did he get the Chelsea job? On the basis of what has he gone in after some of the best managers in the world?
Yeah,
some of the best managers in the world.
Benitez,
and then you want to go and replace them with Frank Lampard? Well, then you're going to get what you deserve.
Wonderful. I agree
and
with
Robbo,
you.
remember he said when he had the Chelsea team, he actually fixed his lips to say, this team is not ready to challenge for trophies. And he gets jacked out. Man comes in, Tuchel comes in and wins the Champions League. So
there you go. With the same team.
Same team. So after he done spent how many millions? So he's not the one. But I love it
because he'll get another job as well.
Easy.
That's how privilege works. He'll get another job.
Yeah. I mean, how many jobs does Mark Hughes and the likes of him had?
Well, I don't know if Mark Hughes. Hey, Mark Hughes did all right. Mark Hughes has done some good jobs. I just don't think that somebody like Lampard, you have to go and and work your thing, and he hasn't done it.
Pep was the Barcelona team B for how many years? He's been
Absolutely.
there for at least 10 years to really start to get noticed. But these men are getting spoon-fed jobs just because of who they
because
are.
of their reputation. Yeah. And if it's like that, and anybody doesn't like what I'm saying, what about our boy there, former captain of Arsenal and Tottenham?
Mashing work. Yeah.
He ain't getting them kind of chances and opportunities.
No.
He's mashing work.
People don't like calling it, but it is there. And isn't he doing a job? Listen, when he went to Crystal Palace, right, he had to reform the whole mindset and the whole team. And what I thought now Hodgson's gone, we will find out. Sometimes you only know how good people are in their absence. He has done a tremendous job. They're safe long time. They're playing fantastic. They've had great results. It's only now it's quite hard to motivate them because they're like wolves, aren't they? They're not going to win anything. They're not going to qualify for any competition.
Yeah.
So the players
I think their eyes were they were fixated on that FA Cup, man. They were doing so well in the cup competitions. It's derailed them slightly.
It was a good thing for Crystal Palace.
Yeah, I would have loved to have seen them gone to the final.
And they
for
don't
many reasons.
depend on one player anymore. So Saha now has to go, rah. You know, when I'm not in the team, they're still winning.
Yeah. Well, they got their few of their players that play.
They
in the
got a
same
Chelsea
style.
player, haven't they? If my memory serves me right.
Gallagher.
Bad.
And they
He's changed the playing style as well.
That's your second team, isn't it, Ernie?
Yeah.
Who else do you like in the team, in your second team?
Who else do I like?
Yeah, name me some.
I like Gallagher.
Benteke, when the contract is coming up.
Come on, Ernie. Come on. Who else you like in the team? Can you watch them? You watch your second team. Come on, now.
And the midfield player who came from Queen's Park Rangers.
Eze, he's just come back.
Eze.
Who else?
Eze.
Who else?
The brother who Patrick bought from Reading. I don't know them name, but I know them. Right?
When you see them on the street in Nod.
We know that. It was a wild
That's
one.
him.
Yeah, you know, you. All right, so let's face it. Leeds are not going to do anything. So I'm not going to get my bonus buster. I want Leeds to beat Manchester City, but it ain't going to happen. Richard Smith agrees. If Leeds need one more game and it should be safe. I don't know.
They're safe.
I don't know. The other interesting game, I obviously would be Liverpool Newcastle. Let me have my take on it. I think Newcastle is a place that Liverpool go and they
always win.
They love St James's Park. Liverpool absolutely love St James's Park. Last year we won at St James's Park. This year it's a little bit different. But the thing with Eddie Howe wants to play football. And I think if you go away or home and you're not of the same quality as Liverpool, you want to try and play football against them, I think that's where your problems start. Maybe he should just put 10 men behind the ball. But that crowd at St James's Park will not have 10 men behind the ball. They got Sam Maximum. They got Chris Woods. They got the new kid, Bruno, who they bought in January. I think they fancy themselves. And this might be a rough game for Liverpool. But again, just like the Everton game, I think Liverpool wins that game away from home 2-0.
Well, they're the best team they've played in a while. If you look at what's happened since the January transfer window when he bought those players, so he didn't go mad because his pocket is full of money. He didn't go mad because he can't really attract people. They didn't get the one player I think they really wanted, which is nonsense to me. To keep Lingard from Newcastle but not play him is just nonsense. To take him back from West Ham and then not play him is nonsense. But it is what it is. And if you look at how many points they've scored and who they've scored those points ago, so they may well come. I think they can come as high as 11th or 12th, which is remarkable when we think of where they were in December and how, I thought, they gave Bruce a horrible time. I felt like, my man needs some real mental health support. I didn't
think they were a bottom three team. I always felt they were in and around the same as Leeds and Southampton. I felt Newcastle because of the fan base. I think it's
but if you look at their form from the January transfer window, right? It's been absolutely outstanding.
They
Yeah.
top of the league, isn't they? If you took it on that
They'd
form.
be, I don't know, but they'd be top 4.
Yeah.
Easy.
So it'd be a good game. But, you know, Henderson is trying to show, well, I ain't just there for decoration. Who's the youth that did that outrageous and unnecessary trap from he crossed the ball and he caught it with the back of his foot? Who's that youth there that did that?
Oh,
Did
Luis
you not see that?
Diaz. Luis Diaz.
Yeah. It was
Yeah.
outrageous and it was magnificent.
He's an outrageously talented footballer,
Yeah,
and that's why Tottenham was about to break the bank to get him.
Oh my goodness. You know what's scary about that is if you're doing that in a game, that means those guys are having fun. That's the sort of stuff you do in training.
Do you know he's the type of player that probably fans would say Liverpool wouldn't buy or Klopp don't like flair players? Because I've always felt that I would take a punt on Alan Sam Maximum. I would have loved to have seen him at Liverpool, you know, a player like that. But I think people think, well, Klopp is all work, it's all work, it's all work, it's all work. But there you go, you got a flair player, but he's got this flair player to work. So, yeah. Ernie, what do you reckon the score's going to be? Don't look miserable, son.
Liverpool win. I can't see anything different. Liverpool and Arsenal, anytime they play Newcastle, no matter what happens, Newcastle going to be 3-0 up and Liverpool win 4-3. Same as Arsenal. They always win against Newcastle. Although I like the job that Eddie Howe has done at Newcastle. I mean, he's not going to get the job long term, is he? Because they're going to be wanting a marquee manager, as they say.
Well,
he's done a tremendous job there. But
be careful
I think
with
Liverpool win
that. With Man City, you got to do it slowly. You cannot. Remember, who was the boy that come and Robinho? Remember when Robinho come for about 30 odd minutes? You've got to do it slowly.
Do you know what, Eddie? Congratulations. You were spot on. Their form has been win, loss to Tottenham 5-0. After that, it's been win, 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 win.
Yeah.
They've won their last 4 games, Newcastle.
Yeah. They've won 6 games at home. I think Eddie Howe has broken the record, 6 or 7 games at home on the spin.
Edu, quick score prediction, Liverpool,
I know
Newcastle.
the last 2 times they've met, I know Liverpool won one and they drew the next. But with the ascendancy of the form, I see it being a tricky one. I probably will predict a tight one, maybe a 2-1 to Liverpool.
Well, if you
Just
remember,
be- just
Liverpool
because
just I think that was the game that turned Liverpool. They turned the corner where we had the whole heap of games losing 24th of April last year. And that was the game where we were winning and they scored in the last minute. And after that, Liverpool went on that mad run to secure Champions League. So, yeah, nice for the predictions. All the other games, we're sorry. Eddie's in the house.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I'm late. But just before you go off on that, only to show you, we were doing this podcast and a little over a year ago, you were the laughing stock. Liverpool were awful. They weren't going to get top 4. Their form was terrible. Van Dijk was injured. Every week we were talking about the top
Henderson and Fabinho.
It was painful. It was painful.
Do you remember? And they stuck with it. And look, a year on, they're on the verge. Even if they win nothing now, from now on, they've still had a magnificent year. They're on the verge of being the greatest team in British history. And
well, one thing I've taken from Ernie.
Press the button quickly.
One thing I've taken from Ernie, that song, sing it, Ernie. Always look on the bright side of life, innit?
Look on the bright side of life.
The only thing is, Ernie's hoping that, you don't celebrate on the bus and you never beat in Man City. But anyway, listen, Eddie, you're in the house and Ernie's in the house and so is Edu. Now, Eddie does his thing. Eddie does his bits. I seen Eddie around a turntable but he's more of an MC. Ernie, you don't know. Daddy Ernie, the big boss. Edu, chops and Robbo does Robbo. But this weekend, Westwood.
Is that why you didn't want to talk about it when I said it?
Yes. Timmy turned up. Now, I'd like to start with the Westwood conversation, but a man tried to deny his connection with the man. You started the man's career, taught the truth. He used to wipe the tables for you.
Robert, what are you talking? What's Westwood got to do?
Oh, look, like they want to all get political.
He don't even know about football. What's he got to do with the fixture list?
Hey, you see, I have sense now. Anyway, listen, Tim Westwood, we've all saw the news. We've seen I haven't seen the documentary. I don't even want to watch the documentary.
I saw it.
I haven't watched it. I know the young lady. I think Edu knows the young lady too. We worked with her for years.
Yeah.
It was quite something. It's allegations at this point, but it has been brewing in the water for a little while. Timmy has turned up. The heat has turned up. He's resigned from Capital Extra.
Has he resigned or he stepped down from the program?
Stepped down.
For now.
Yeah, he stepped down.
He's not resigned.
I think he stepped down, but I think Capital Extra could have done the job themselves. But anyway, that's beside the point. But the situation, as you say, it's just allegations. But when you saw the news, Dad, let me go to Daddy Ernie before I go to Eddie, because Eddie's straightforward. I'm not ready for the straight talk. Daddy Ernie, seriously. He's come up. You know the come up of Westwood. I'm no fun and joke aside. You were very instrumental.
Let me tell you the truth, right? Me and Tim was very.
You're not understand, Ernie. Calm down.
Oh,
it's not the oath. You don't have to swear.
No.
Let me tell you the truth, Your Honor.
We was very
Hit
good.
the like button, guys. Hit that like button because we're going in.
We was very good friends. Westwood was responsible for getting me on LWR.
Hang on, I thought you were responsible for getting him.
No,
I got the talk in the streets.
I don't business about it in the streets. I'm telling you how it goes. He got me on LWR. LWR is a pop station, and he used to do a rap show on there. And he said they needed a reggae show on there. I must come over there. And as they say, the rest is history. Me and him was very good friends. He used to come around my house. I used to come around his house. And one day, a little thing happened. I thought, you know what? I can't trust you. So I ended the association. And we haven't spoken for many years. If I see him, we ail up one another. There's a mutual respect. But I haven't seen him for years and years and years. But all these allegations that's going on is not new. It's been out before. You know, if it was the likes of me and you, Robbo, we'd be history. But, you know, he's a privileged geezer, and they've backed him all the way. But this time here now, it's not looking good.
Did you watch the documentary, Ernie?
I watched the documentary.
What do you think?
Well, I'd like to know why none of them women has gone to the police.
Not sure where it's at right now. Eddie, you had to report on it. Obviously, it was something that came out during the middle of the day, and you're on in the middle of the day.
How deep do you want me to go then? You know, I'm a deep fan.
Well, it's not about depthiness, but you know, it's.
And I'll answer it because I've got lots to say, but it's better that I only answer what you ask.
Okay, I'm going to ask you. You got the news in the middle of the day. Did you? There's a sense of okay, I'm part of this culture. How much do you feel that this culture has enabled Tim?
Well, there are two things, right? There are two ways to look at this. First is that Tim Westwood was the most powerful man in hip hop, in the same way that David Rodigan is the most powerful man in the reggae. And some call it cultural appropriation or culture vulture. But we have to, you know, before I get to the young ladies who I have every sympathy for, I think we have to consider ourselves. Every time a white person could do something half as good as a black person, we hail them up like they're God Almighty. We do that. We welcome them in, and we do that all the time. Remember when I was at Choice FM arguing with people about whether Justin Timberlake was a better dancer than Usher? We do it. Throughout history, we've done it. When's the last time a black woman had a song in the charts, in the top 10? All of a sudden, Adele is God. When I listen to One Extra, who you used to work for, who are the most influential people in rap? They're never black people. So, you know, there is a thing for us to look at who we bring in and how we big them up. Because whatever he did, and yeah, you're right, the rumors have been out there for a long time. And when we did it on No Joke, I can't tell you how many journalists call me. Every time I was with Westwood, every time I saw Westwood, he had the prettiest, finest black gal around him. In a way, I didn't see that as a bad thing. I like black gal too. So, that is a thing. But when I watched a documentary, it was so uncomfortable because I felt the same way as I did when I saw Surviving R. Kelly. In the Ernie's right, of course. Westwood could go into a club and get something every single time he went into a club. If that's what we're talking, if we're doing the spectacle. But it wasn't that. I think it's the God complex. I think it's getting what you want. And it's not about getting what you can. Otherwise, there would be no footballer who would be done for that. And there are lots of footballers who are done for it. It's because you want what you want. And, Caesar becomes God, doesn't he? And I think I have reservations of throwing anybody under the bus because I know a guy called Noel Clark, who there were allegations made against him. The police didn't even interview him, and yet now he can't feed his 3 kids. So I don't like cancel culture. I've been the victim of cancel culture, where I've interviewed somebody and they're going to put it on the internet, and the way that I meant the questions were not the way they were received. And I know what that's like, and it hurts. It takes up every part of your being. But as a lawyer would say, there is definitely a case to answer. And just quickly answering your question, Ernie, the people at the bottom of the pile, if we believe there's something called white privilege, which I've talked about today, then you have to believe there's something called male privilege too. I don't have to check my keys as I walk down. I have to think about what I wear, whether somebody's going to put their hand up my skirt. I don't have to think about the things that women feel. And as a dark-skinned black woman, you are at the bottom of the pile and people do not believe you. Why would somebody that powerful interfere with a 17? So they go to the media because nobody would believe them. But let me tell you, and you know it, Robert, because you worked there. In order for Chi Chi to get that on air, she would have had to talk to 35,722 lawyers. They would have to make sure that was right. Because if so let's see what happens.
Great answer. Edu, when we talk about privileges, you spent some time at the radio station when I was there. There was a lot of things that I battled for the culture, just like yourself. When Afrobeats was in its mere infancy in terms of where it was on BBC, we battled for the culture, and there was also times where we had to play second fiddle for somebody who dipped into the culture, dancehall, Afrobeat, and got more of a conversation. There was at times where I felt, well, let Tim do it. If it breaks down doors or makes them want to play the music more, let Tim do it. How does that frustration, when you see that this stories come up, do you recall that frustration? Because we've had many conversations about it, like where Afrobeats are concerned, Tim could have anything he wants.
Yeah, I mean,
Tim could do a Nigeria special.
I know, Nigerian independence special.
Yeah,
I think it's like, like Eddie said, when you allow these people into your culture, because they're not brought up with it, it's not a part of them. What then happens is they bring their own culture and mix it up with yours. And the result, as we're seeing, is not exactly what we like. Because I know there's some hip hop songs that say, go mash up a dance, go kill this man, go, all these things. But we personally wouldn't go and do that because we know as black people, it's banter. You know how you talk, I got the biggest, I got the baddest, but it's the way we talk. But if you take somebody who's not brought up in that culture, who has no idea and takes that for face value, that's a very dangerous weapon. And then you make them the top of the chain, and they're the ones who are representing us. And what I've seen with this situation is, when it's Tim Westwood, it is Tim Westwood is singled out as Tim Westwood. If that was a black DJ, we would all be suffering the wrath of this. And I think the double standards are even in sport, in football, as we were saying. Mm-hmm. So I think we need to start having these conversations and letting our voices heard. I mean, even if we don't get those opportunities, we should create other platforms where we can still air our grievances.
Build it and they will come. That's the other thing the Americans have over us. I agree with you. We all waiting for somebody to give us something. Take it. Why are we waiting for people? Yeah. There's a kid that died who did not wait. There's a youth that died. Jamal did not wait. He was doing his thing, and he was doing it well. And then everybody came to him.
100%. I mean, I've had conversations this
What do you
week, and
think, Robert? Because you've asked all three of us, and all of us have given you honest answers, and you got more to say than anyone else. So talk your talk.
well, funny enough, I spoke to Tim when I left One Extra, and he stopped me in the street. I was in a club, Leicester. We were. He stopped me in the street, and he said, "Oh man, oh man, oh man, man, oh man," as he does. "Oh man, oh man, man." He said, "Rob, oh man, yo man, oh man, I respect what you're doing and all of that." And he goes, "Oh yeah, man, you know, you went .com. I said, "Yeah, well, I ain't going .com. I just want to access an audience, and I want this audience at the tip palm of, who can get me at the palm of their hand. So it is not about me going anywhere. It's just about me trying to just be out there." And he said, "Oh, his advice to me was, why did you go back to pirate radio, man? Oh my God, I would go back to pirate." I was like, "Well, why don't you leave and go to pirate radio yourself? Why don't you leave and go back to pirate radio? You're telling me." And that was the word of advice he gave me. He was like, "Oh man, go back to pirate radio." And I, for a minute, I said, "But I've watched you for a long while, and you were like TimWestwood.tv. So I get it. I'm watching you. You're in some way inspire me that you know you need to build yourself as well. So I'm not trying to build platforms. I'm just trying to build myself." And he gave me that bit of advice, and I was a bit confused about it. And I thought to myself, wait till it happens to him. Let's see what happens. So my talk is, I'm just waiting to see what happens, because it's going to be very interesting.
Who was the reggae brother? He used to have 2 hours on Radio 1.
Chris Goldfinger.
And then all of a sudden, he took Goldfinger's slot and was playing reggae music. And then didn't he go?
They sliced the time down
as well.
They sliced the time down. Radio 1 sliced the time down, which was a crazy thing because reggae was so popular on Radio 1. And they thought, okay, new guy come in, and he thought, you know, the usual thing. Well, it's not hitting Tilly and Millie in Shropshire and
Middle England.
They sliced the time down, and Westwood produced those shows for Chris Goldfinger. Big up Chris Goldfinger, absolute dancehall legend. He produced those shows, and he went, "Well, Tim, I'm Tim Westwood, so if they're slicing the time down from 4 hours to 3 hours, I think I'll take all 3 for myself." And that's why.
And that's the thing that I'm saying.
Yeah, that's why Chris wasn't on the radio.
Right now, I regard myself as an OG, not as old as Ernie, but an OG. And I'm going to bring you through. And if them Mondays coming around me, and
you're an OG, man, you're OG.
They're not bringing people through, then I don't know what they're doing. Because I would need to know that people are eating. If you're bringing people through, I'll cut you some slack. Because that's me. I'm thinking that everybody can eat, right? If I eat, you're going to eat. But them Mondays eating big plate of food and no one else ain't eating.
Well, let me tell you why me and him fell out. The same reason that you said there, Robbo. There was a gig at Brixton. It was a Brixton Academy many years ago. And they asked for a reggae DJ. And he said, "No, you don't need Daddy Ernie. I'll play the reggae music." Somebody come back and told me. I said, "And you're meant to be my friend." Laters. And since then, me and him never talk. I just said,
"You're hard, you know, Ernie. You're hard, you know. He's hard. You're hard." No, I don't blame you. But I mean, I'm sorry. No, I'm saying we've all had our experience with Tim, but I mean, it is one of those things where we just have to wait and see what happens. I'm intrigued to see what happens after this, because I just believe for such a long time, I never understood. Apart from the fact that we live here in England, I could never understand, and Ernie knows me because Ernie knows me from a long time ago when I was trying to get on radio. I could not understand why the gods of our music are not the people that make the music. I could never understand it. And it, here I am now. I still say the same thing. So wait and see. Wait and see. But anyway,
that was the Fixture List with a little addition at the end of it.
It's only because I heard Eddie was going to be around.
You didn't even let me talk about the box. Dillian White wants a rematch. He said he pushed him over.
I want a rematch.
Dillian White was down. Dillian White was down like this. No. can't do
No,
that. We
you're
can't have no
taking
And he's a
Dillian
good
talk.
fighter, you know. Dillian is a good fighter. And all my life, I know from from who was the man? Joe Bogner,
Yep.
Jerry Cooney. They've been looking for a white heavyweight to come in and do that. They call them, you know, the great white hope.
White Oak. Yeah.
Do you think, Eddie? Do you think, Ernie and Eddie? Do you think that you've watched boxing at its height? Do you think that the standard of heavyweights is so bad?
No,
It's terrible.
No, I'm not saying it's rubbish. I'm just saying, but
Terrible.
let's be honest with you. Eddie. Let's be honest. It's not that great, though, is it? It's not that great.
Hold on. He can only be. A few years ago, we were talking about Deontay Wilder as the most destructive heavyweight of all time. He knocked out everybody who ever fought. He has come and dealt with Deontay Wilder not once, not twice, but thrice. Okay, he is a man who's come back from suicide attempts.
But Deontay Wilder is a bit of a semi-bum. It's a semi-bumite. It's very bummish.
Yeah, you call it what you want. I'll call it coming from a dark place, right? So for him to do what he's done and the way that he buoyed off one of a fantastic boxer. I mean,
Ed, I'm not disputing that he's got ability. It's not his ability. I'm saying the whole division, it's not great. That's all I'm saying. I don't think it's that great. So if he comes and dominates, good luck to Fury. Fury dominates because he dominates. But come on, the heavyweight division is a joke.
Would he have beat Lennox is your question, really, isn't it?
No chance. But we don't want to talk about that because it was a different generation. I don't think he would. Stylistically, I don't think he would have beat Lennox.
I don't think he would have beaten Lennox. For them to turn around and say that he's the greatest British heavyweight champion of all time.
Who said that, though, Ernie? Who says that?
More than that. They're saying more than that.
They're saying
Who
more
said
than
that he's the greatest?
They're saying more than
They're
that.
putting him in conversations with Muhammad Ali, you know.
I watched the fight on Saturday. I watched Hay and I watched Lennox. Hang on. Lennox was on the show. I never heard anybody say that comment in front of Lennox Lewis.
No, they never said it. No, this was after in the newspapers. They were saying that he is the greatest British heavyweight champion of all time. And you see, from they start saying that.
Well, as I said, I didn't hear anybody say that in front of Lennox. They bigged up Lennox all the way through the whole program.
Well, Lennox is the best, hands down. He's the best British heavyweight. Although he was in Canada, he's the best British heavyweight in history. So I
didn't hear that.
I mean, for me, when I watch and Lennox is another one. It's the personality that didn't get them because he come with that Jamaican Canadian accent that no one. He wasn't the guy that you all right, Harry. He didn't do that. He didn't hear or what. They were never gonna like him because he was a real. He was a bad man, and then he's
not one of us. He's not one of us.
He wasn't one of them.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So he's never gonna like them. But he would have knocked out Fury.
I don't know. Bro.
Huh?
What he buoyed. When I say boy, treated him like a boy. At no stage did you think Dillian was going to win that fight.
No. Not even before he got in the ring.
I don't think Dillian thought he was going to win. I think the best thing Dillian did was the wolf cry. That did bad. I want to sample it. Oh, and that was about it.
I collect the money.
You talk about money? Boris Becker's in the mud, brethren.
2 years, and he's another one like Black Girl.
Boris Becker.
I read something the other day. They said they caught the wrong Boris.
Yo, it's true.
You see, he went to court with the Wimbledon colours, like freaking. I'm like,
that was going to get him off.
I know, right?
Right, mate.
He probably thought he was going to get off. He probably thought, well, I'm Boris, man. I'm slippery Boris, man.
There's somebody. Who was that? Ambrose Mendes. You remember Ambrose Mendes?
I remember him very well.
He had something similar, and how much years did he get?
Yeah.
He got a few years, and that was back then. Imagine if that was one of us. Jeez.
You should have him on here, I see Ambrose from time to time. Ambrose is now
Ambrose will come on.
African footballers.
Yeah, man.
And I speak for a living, right? I'm up for an award on Tuesday for the best TV personality, radio personality.
I was about to say, I don't want to see you on your TV. I got a TV face.
It's a face for radio.
Yeah, that's a face for a dark radio in the corner. But it's a great show. People listen to him on London Live. He is absolutely amazing.
I got to tell you, Ambrose is one of the greatest orators that I know. You need to get him on here. And
I'm going to get him.
Speak. He is a magnificent speaker.
Yeah, man.
Would you promise not to talk then, Ernie, if you bring him on?
No, if Ambrose comes on, I will happily not say a word. I went to his sister's night, and me and him sat down, and we had a conversation. It was incredible. The knowledge and the insight that Ambrose Mendes got. I don't think there's anyone in our community who's got that kind of insight. Definitely in boxing, and probably in the sporting world. Period. He don't.
Eddie, do you know him? He used to be with Ben and all them boy there. I went in the late 80s, early 90s. He had everybody, you know, from Linsford. He had everybody, you know. He's a great orator.
Yeah, wasn't he not how do you call it? He used to look after the players, like what do you call it, like contracts and stuff like that. Agent.
But he used to have a few of them, but his main thing was boxing. That was his main thing. But he used to have a few players back in the day, but his main thing is boxing. But from you, he's one of them man that you just press the go button and just let him roll. Wow.
Well, it'd be good on here because it'd be a good challenge and it'd be interesting to listen to. It'd be really, really good.
Well, let's hope we get him on there soon, man. With some interesting conversations, man. Listen, Eddie, thanks for joining us. I know it was late in the day, but you know, we had to wait to bring. We had to wait for you because you know you don't know your bridging and all them thing there. You know what I mean? The turn up on all these things. DJ Edu and the man who started the career of the turn up, Daddy Ernie. Big up, Daddy Ernie. We'll be back next week. People, smash the like button if you enjoyed the conversation.
Yeah, man.
Hit the like. We're not even asking you to share because I know you don't share. And furthermore, let me just ask you, the people, this. I'm going to put on my serious face. How do we win? I want to win with you. I don't want to win by myself. I certainly don't want to win with Daddy Ernie. I want to win with all of you. Yeah. Please, guys, hit the like button, share the show, share the conversation. Fixture List, we'll be back next week.